proposed. So the Senate passed that with no strings attached. Not because it had everything the Democrats wanted. In fact, it had very little that the Democrats wanted. But we said, let's go ahead and just make sure that other people aren't hurt while negotiations are still taking place. So that's already passed the Senate. And we know there are enough Republicans and Democrats to vote in the House of Representatives for the same thing.
Yeah, but if they're there to vote for the same thing, we have enough of them. But there's not enough of them between the bunch that are there with the brain in their head to know what the hell to do to make it right. You know, and that's what disgusts me. You put these people in the office. We vote them in the office so they can do their best and do what the hell they do right. They know what the hell what to do, but it just doesn't pan out with them because they sit there and somehow they get that amnesia shit happening there, or they get some stupid thing going on in their brain. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. And you know what happens? Then we have to suffer for that.
Now, I want everybody to understand what's happened, because sometimes when this gets reported on, everybody kind of thinks, well, you know, both sides are just squabbling. Democrats and Republicans, they're always arguing. So, you know, neither side's behaving properly.
Anyway, I had to repeat that part for you because that's exactly what happens. Everybody squabbles, and they just don't know what the hell they're doing. Okay, I got another clip for you. This is about the budget. Now, in this one, I believe it explains, too, about the deficit, that the deficit's not the problem in this whole thing. Excuse me, which surprised me, because I thought we were trying to solve the deficit, but he's talking about it's not the problem. So let's get a little shot of that.
Here at home, the United States Congress has two pressing responsibilities: pass a budget on time and pay our bills on time. If Congress chooses not to pass a budget by Monday, the end of the fiscal year, they will shut down the government along with many vital services that the American people depend on. The good news is, within the past couple of hours, the United States Senate, Democrats and Republicans, acted responsibly by voting to keep our government open and delivering the services the American people expect. Now it's up to the Republicans in the House of Representatives to do the same. I say that because, obviously, Democrats have a great interest in making sure that these vital services continue to help the American people. So far, the Republicans in the House of Representatives have refused to move forward. And here's the thing. Unlike the last time they threatened this course of action, this debate isn't really about deficits. In fact, our deficits are falling at the fastest pace that they have in 60 years. By the end of this year, we will have cut our deficits by more than half since I took office. So that's not what this is about. And in fact, if you've been following the discussion, the Republicans in the House don't even make a pretense that that's what this is about.
Okay, there you go, the deficit. You know, but aren't we still 17 trillion in the hole somewhere? I have no idea what's going on. Deficit's not the problem. That's falling. Okay, I don't know. So anyway, we're going to talk about now. We have to go from that clip because I have to play now about the website, the Obama website for healthcare. This Obama healthcare has been a pain in the butt for everybody since we've known Obama was able to speak and give speeches in front of the camera. And, I mean, every time something happens, we can't solve a problem, he always falls back to, let's do the healthcare. Oh, you know, but healthcare. Oh, you know, but healthcare. And he always goes back to the healthcare Obama thing, whatever. Okay, I guess it's a good thing. I don't know if it's a good thing or not. All I know is that people need to have health care. They need to have some kind of a health care, something that's affordable, because the economy's dropped so bad that nobody's working, nobody has jobs, nobody can keep a house or a roof over their head. You can't feed your kids. Oh, it's another thing, too. The Republicans go out and they close down the whole damn Congress thing, and now you can't, if you have babies and you're pregnant, you can't feed your kids and all that stuff. That was ridiculous. You know, I don't understand. But, you know, who gets paid? Okay, who gets paid in that whole thing? When everybody suffers, they closed down the Grand Canyon, they closed down the Statue of Liberty, they did all that stuff, and even the states were putting in their own money from their own budget to keep these places open because the tourists needed all these places in order to make money to make the state function. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. So now everything's down, right? So who pays for that? We pay for all of that. Sure, it opened up, and the federal employees are going to get their back pay and all that stuff. That's cool, But did we get paid for that? No. We're going to have to eventually, in the next years to come, pay for it somehow. Whether they take a penny a day or whatever the hell they take out of our check. And that's kind of stupid. But anyway, healthcare. Get back to healthcare. Okay, now this one is going to explain to you about when it started getting the website up. And then the next clip is going to tell you what I think that I found and the reason why everything went to pot.
And John eventually predicted that the website will work like a champ. So he was frustrated by the website, but he's feeling a little less frustrated once he found out that he was saving $900 a month on his health insurance. And John's right. The website's going to get fixed, and the law works. That's why we fought so hard to pass this law, to save folks like John money. Instead, the House Republicans are so concerned with appeasing the Tea Party that they've threatened a government shutdown or worse unless I gut or repeal the Affordable Care Act.
That's it.
I said this yesterday. Let me repeat it. That's not going to happen. More than 100 million Americans currently already have new benefits and protections under the law. On Tuesday, about 40 million more Americans will be able to finally buy quality, affordable health care, just like anybody else.
You know what gets me is they're talking now that they're going to meet with the person that's put up the website and the people that are involved in the website, all the federal people. Now they're going to bring in the experts. That's what gets me. They have all these little. So I guess the people that built this website before, they had a lot of flunkies working on it because now the flunkies are out and they're bringing in, quote, the professionals. Well, they bring in somebody that's got a big old huge computer strapped to their butt and see if they can put something down on tape and get it right this time. You know why? Because we're sick of waiting. They also said today and yesterday and the day before and like whatever it was a month ago when they first got this damn thing up, you can call now. Yeah, you can call. Sure, there's going to be like 9 trillion people calling at the same time. I'm sure AT&T is going to crash, or Cablevision, or whoever has their phones is going to crash because there's too many phone calls. It's stupid. They should have had this done before. I build websites too, and you know what? All you had to do was have something to come up. Maybe put in your area code. Let's say when it pops up, please put in your area code. Like 11797 or whatever your area code is, and then when it comes up, it pops up with locations to where maybe you can go call in your community or your home or whatever, or you can just go there 11797 whatever pops up, and you can maybe just scan through different categories of different health cares or whatever. I don't know. There's so many easy ways you could do it, like because when I go shopping online. Same thing. It pops up. I get to look around like Amazon.com. I get to look around. I get to boom, 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 go in and want to buy something. Then they say, please register and make an account. And then you make an account because you know what you want. You just do it like that. It's, these big guys build these websites and they make tons of money on them and they survive. So I don't understand what the problem is. We all of a sudden now we have to call the professionals in.
Instead, the House Republicans are so concerned with appeasing the Tea Party that they've threatened a government shutdown or worse unless I gut or repeal the Affordable Care Act.
Okay, just had to say that again. My opinion is this is what happened to the economy and to the deficit. They used the Health Care Act, held it hostage, and they played chicken poo-poo politics is what they did. I wish I could say the word I wanted to say for poo-poo. It would make more sense. But chicken poo-poo politics to hold up the website and hold up everything and hold up the Obamacare. Try to sucker him into doing something that he doesn't want to do. And, I got to hand it to him. He was kind of like a Harrison Ford in that clip, kind of like the president I want. He stuck to his guns. He didn't let it go. But the only thing is, I believe that he should have been involved in doing the website and keeping the website going. And, getting it figured out right. Because if that's the case, then millions and millions of people right now would be having health care, and they would be happy. Okay, there we go. We've come to the end of our first show with PresSpeaks. And I'd like to remind you, too, if you would like to give me some comments, send me an email at mskills@live.com. That's mskills@live.com. I would love to hear your comments. Maybe you give me some suggestions. That would be nice. And if you have a show you'd like for us to talk about, or something that you've got on your mind, and maybe you have an audio clip, you could email me a little audio clip, and I actually play the audio clip of your voice and you can actually be on my show. Make sure the audio clip is in MP3 format. It's not too long. That way, just like maybe a minute, 60 seconds, 30 seconds, 60-second comment, or something you'd like to say. Okay, we're going to talk about, on our next show, Enid Cohen is a cohort of mine. We did Blog Talk Radio together, and she's going to get back into this with me. We had a segment that we filmed, that we put down on tape a long time ago. Maybe a couple years ago, we did a show on smoking, which is our pet peeve. What we tried to do in that show is not tell you all the hazards of smoking, because everybody's told you if you smoke, it's bad for your health, bad for your breathing, bad for this, bad for that, yada, 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 yada. You know what I'm talking about. So, instead of doing that, I've got this little clip. Let me play this. This is an e-cigarette clip. I want to start off by playing this for you.
While the final word on the level of toxicity in vapors from e-cigarettes hasn't been officially determined, one Connecticut state senator believes these cigarettes should be publicly outlawed, just as regular cigarettes are. Ed Meyer of Guilford says smoke signals on the possible hazards have already been sent out by the FDA.
The FDA did, in 2009, issue a preliminary warning about vapors from e-cigarettes.
Senator Meyer expects his bill banning e-cigarettes from public places will be drafted and possibly pass in this upcoming legislative session in Hartford. Fran Schneider, WCBS 880 News.
There you go. That's an e-cigarette. We're going to talk about e-cigarettes next week, too, on the show, along with the cigarette. What we try to do is try to tell you about the cigarette smoking, about how when you quit, your body starts to heal itself right away. Within a week or so, you'll start feeling the effects of the fact that you stopped smoking, and your breathing will start coming back to you. Anyway, that's on the next week's show. I'm going to have Enid Cohen with me. We're going to play the segment that we ran on Blog Talk Radio, and then we'll talk about that, and we'll discuss that. And what we're going to do right now is I'm going to leave you with this. I'll see you next week on PresSpeaks. PresSpeaks.